Two people can start the same goal on the same day, do almost the same amount of work, and end up in completely different places. Not because one is smarter, not because one has more talent, and not because one found some secret strategy. The difference is what they do when progress stays invisible. Imagine two versions of the same person. Both decide to start a YouTube channel. Both write scripts, record videos, and publish every week. After 1 month, both have almost no views. The first version checks the numbers every morning. 3 views, 7 views, 2 subscribers. He looks at bigger creators and thinks, this is not working. The second version sees the same numbers but asks a different question. Am I getting better? That difference changes everything. Most people do not quit because progress stopped. They quit because progress stayed invisible. The first comparison is outcomes versus repetitions. The immediate results version measures views, money, praise, weight, and visible transformation. If the number does not move, motivation disappears. The invisible progress version measures what can actually be controlled. Scripts written, workouts completed, hours practiced, mistakes corrected, days returned after failure. One measures results. The other measures repetitions. Early results are unreliable. One video can fail because of the title. One workout changes nothing visible. 1 week of practice barely moves the skill. But repetitions are real. A finished session is evidence. A corrected mistake is evidence. Faster execution is evidence. The result may still be missing, but the person producing the result is already changing. The second comparison is daily judgment versus longer evaluation windows. The immediate results version evaluates the entire plan every day. Monday, no progress. Tuesday, still nothing. Wednesday, maybe the strategy is wrong. By Friday, a new plan appears. This feels intelligent, it feels responsive, but it creates a problem. Slow feedback corrupts judgment. If you judge a long-term process every 24 hours, normal variation starts looking like failure. The invisible progress version waits for enough repetitions to collect useful data. Not one workout, 30. Not one video, 20. Not 3 days of studying, 3 months. This person still reviews the process, but not every time emotions change. One reacts to noise, the other waits for a pattern. The third comparison is switching versus accumulating. The immediate results version gets bored and changes direction. A new niche, a new routine, a new business model, a new productivity system. Switching creates a burst of energy. There is research to do, plans to build, and new tools to test. It feels like movement, but switching often resets the learning curve. The invisible progress version stays long enough to understand what the work is teaching. The 5th video reveals a weak hook. The 10th reveals pacing problems. The 20th reveals what the audience actually responds to. That knowledge cannot be downloaded. It has to be earned through contact with the work. One changed direction, the other collected data. The 4th comparison is emotional proof versus process evidence. The immediate results version needs to feel that progress is happening. A compliment, a spike in views, a visible body change, someone asking, "What have you been doing?" Without that feedback, the work feels pointless. The invisible progress version collects quieter evidence. The blank page feels less intimidating. The workout begins with less negotiation. The same task takes 40 minutes instead of 2 hours. A bad day no longer becomes a bad week. Nobody else may notice these changes, but they matter because capability grows before reward appears. The result was delayed. The growth was not. The 5th comparison is linear expectations versus compounding reality. Most people imagine progress as a straight line. Work today, improve tomorrow, work harder, improve faster. But real progress often looks flat for a long time. A seed spends weeks beneath the soil before anything appears above it. A person can train for months before the body looks different. A creator can publish dozens of videos before one finally reaches the right audience. The immediate results version sees the flat line and assumes nothing is happening. The invisible progress version understands that visible growth often lags behind internal capacity. Skill is accumulating. Judgment is sharpening. Resistance is weakening. The structure is being built beneath the surface. Then one day, the visible result arrives, and everyone calls it sudden. Overnight success usually has an invisible calendar behind it. The 6th comparison is quitting for protection versus continuing through uncertainty. This is the part nobody likes to admit. Sometimes people quit because the process is not working, but often they quit because continuing would force them to remain average for longer than their ego can tolerate. The immediate results version thinks, if I am talented, this should happen faster. So quitting becomes protection. If the goal is abandoned early, failure can be blamed on timing, strategy, or lack of interest. The person never has to discover how long mastery actually takes. The invisible progress version accepts temporary average performance. Bad videos get published. Weak lifts get recorded. Awkward practice sessions happen. This person does not enjoy being average. The difference is that average is treated as a stage, not an identity. One quits to preserve potential. The other stays long enough to build proof. The seventh comparison is sudden success versus delayed visibility. Go forward 2 years. The first version has started 6 different projects. Each one lasted long enough to feel exciting and ended before the work became useful. There are plans, saved videos, unfinished courses, and a long list of things that almost happened. The second version kept going, not perfectly. There were missed weeks, weak uploads, disappointing numbers, and moments of doubt. But each return added another repetition. Now the channel has an audience. The skill is obvious. The work is faster. The judgment is better. People look at the result and call it talent. They did not see the first 20 videos. They did not see the months where nothing moved. They did not see the quiet improvement in scripting, editing, patience, and recovery. They saw the result after it became visible. That is why most people quit too early. They compare the visible reward with the invisible effort and assume the effort is losing. But the real comparison is not success versus failure. It is immediate proof versus continued execution before proof. You may be in the stage where the numbers are still small, where your body looks the same, where the skill still feels average, where nobody notices. That does not automatically mean the process is working, but it also does not mean the process has failed. Look for evidence beneath the outcome. Are you completing more repetitions? Are you making fewer mistakes? Are you recovering faster? Are you staying when the work becomes boring? Are you becoming easier to trust? Because the most dangerous point is not when progress stops. It is when progress continues invisibly and you mistake the silence for failure. Most people leave during that stage. The work is changing them, but the world has not noticed yet. Stay long enough for the invisible part to become undeniable.